I have always loved playing different tabletop role-playing games, especially Dungeons and Dragons. And with that, I wanted to try to make my own TTRPG, but I've always failed at making any because I've always aimed big. Like, whenever I make one, it is going to be 100 or more pages. It's just got so many rules. I want to go very rules heavy. I want the whole world to feel very alive. And because of that, I burn out. I don't continue making it, especially if I try to put magic in the system. It's just way too much for me to handle, especially with balancing and things like that. So I've set a goal for myself because I needed to aim small so I could achieve big, basically. I just wanted to feel like I started a project and finished it. So I gave myself 24 hours to make a one-page TTRPG. This is for my sister and her role-playing friend group because her friends all started playing Dungeons & Dragons, but there was one problem. None of them really knew the rules very well, and they didn't want to spend a lot of time learning the rules. It was really hard, and while they were learning it, it's just they felt like they had so much stuff that was unnecessary that they didn't need. So my TTRPG that I was going to make for my sister, I was going to make it in 24 hours, roughly. In reality, it took me maybe like 6 hours of actual dedicating to work on it. And a lot of it was me talking to my sister about what she was aiming for. And her friend group just wanted something where they could basically have a dating sim instead of an open world RPG. So that's what I set out to do. And that's when I started with what I'm calling this Fantasy and Fantasies, where it's basically the whole idea of it is just to be a dating sim rom-com that you can either do what everyone does in Dungeons & Dragons, which is flirt with your friends, or you can do it to flirt with NPCs. And really, it's up to you. So let's go over it. So right here we have the first section, which I know that makes you wonder, wait, doesn't that mean that there's more than one page? And yes and no. Technically, it's one page if you do it front and back. So this is the front of the page, and then we'll go over the back in the next section. But this game is broken up so that your stats are only really relevant to social interactions. You're not really going to be fighting anyone in here, and if you are, I'll explain how you can. But, you know, this whole entire game, it's very rules light, which means it is very vague on the rules, which means you interpret it how you want. That works best for you and your friends. Let's begin with the stats that you're going to use throughout this game. You have Persuade, Allure, Intuition, Mischievous, and Remembrance. And I'm just going to read off what they say on there. Persuade is you can talk the talk and make others agree with that talk. Allure is captivate someone's attention through action or words. Intuition is knowing what is happening around you and what is happening in the moment. Mischievous is to thief, sneak, or lie. Anything a problem maker would love to do is here. Remembrance is remembering the past or to keep your mind grounded. All of these have their different benefits, and depending on what you want to play, you can get a little bonus stats based on your race, which I'll explain a little bit later. This game does not rely heavy on numbers. The most you can get in a roll is a +2 based on your race. That is it. So don't think you're going to be getting any +10s, +15s, +20s. The whole point of this is to make it as simple as possible, and since we all know math is hard, especially if you have not graduated first grade, we're going to make it nice and simple for you. So let's talk about why that math is going to be nice and simple. The system we use for this is you just have one d20. If you don't know what a d20 is, it is the die that is used most commonly in a lot of different TTRPGs, especially Pathfinder Dungeons & Dragons. So let me show you how to roll it, just in case you need a refresher. Boom. Nice and simple. But I hear you say, what if I don't have a d20? What am I supposed to do? If I don't have a physical d20, it's over for me. Hold your horses now. Do I have a solution for you? If you have access to Google, then you also have access to free dice. All you have to do is click on the dice to get rid of them, and then click on the one you want to roll. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Just click on them to get rid of the dice, click on it as many times as you want to roll as many as you want, and then just click on them again to get rid of the dice so you can keep re-rolling. It's that simple, free, and you don't have to think about it. So there you go. Math is very simple. All you need to do is be able to count to 20 on the die and then add +2, +1, or technically +3 if you are human. But other than that, as long as you can add up to 23, you are going to survive. Now that we got math out of the way, let's talk about how the system works. So you'll just need your 1d20, and there are 2 specific rolls you're going to make. You're going to make a roll that includes the player or an NPC against another target player NPC, or you're going to do a roll that is based on a player NPC going against a non-player or NPC. So we have 2 examples down here that explain how this works and what's the benefit roll for them. If you have a player versus another player or NPC, you have both parties roll dice against each other. Whoever gets the higher score gets the better outcome of what they want. Therefore, if the liar rolls higher, the person trying to discern the truth will think that they're telling the truth, while the person trying to discern the truth rolls higher, they will know that the liar is lying in some sort of way. And then if you're doing the second one, where it is a player versus a non-player NPC thing, the person running the game or the GM will just set a specific goal, and then your goal is to just roll higher than that. And if you roll higher than that, you get your desired outcome. So for both of these examples down here, the first example is you want to know if an heirloom you want to swipe is trapped from a rival. Make an intuition check. You pass and you learn that it is, but you know how to disarm it, so then you need to make a mischievous check to disarm it. Second example is you were trying to see if a noble prince was telling the truth about his great adventure of slaying a dragon. You need to roll an intuition check, and the prince will need to roll persuade or mischievous based on if he's lying or not. If you roll higher, you will know if he added elements to the story to embezzle it or if he was telling the truth, and if he rolls higher, you will not know if he lied, but you may think he's telling the truth. But if you did roll on the lie, you will know that he lied. You just don't know exactly how he lied. Another element that you're going to need is magic, of course. In this one page, TTRPG, everybody has magic. Just for the sake of ease, I thought it would just be easier if everyone had magic, because there's really no benefit to not having magic in this, since it's all social and just for fun anyway. So here are your types of magic. You have nature, elemental, linguistic, mentalist, and spiritual. So you can make your own magic if you want. These are just some bases that you can use, because in reality there's no spells that you actually use. Like, you don't pick a spell, you instead just flavor whatever magic you want around that type of thing that you put. So like, let's say you do nature and you summon a bunch of animals as your thing because you work at a circus, so you summon a bunch of animals for the circus. You can do it like that. Or if you're a mentalist, you know, you can read people's minds, you can speak to them in their minds, they can speak back to you. You are free to flavor it however you want. Magic is loose, just have fun with it. It doesn't really matter if you do power scaling, quote unquote, because you're not fighting anyone. While you technically could power scale in a social aspect, it is up to your GM's ruling to decide whether something is beyond your limits of magic. And if they're okay with you going absolutely crazy and just breaking every social aspect, power to them and power to you. It's for fun. Do what you want. It doesn't matter. This is just to be goofy with friends. Next on your list, time to choose your race, because with every great adventure means that you get a variety of different races you can do. And here we have a few example races that you can be that we made. You have fairy, siren, dryad, kitsune, and human, and then on the bottom there's build your own. Right here we have just a few to show you how this can work for different characters. So like for a fairy, you know, they're usually tricksters, they're playful, so they get +2 mischievous, they get +1 allure, and because they're fairies they can fly. And that's basically how simple it is. The only one that doesn't follow the simple pattern of +2 to one skill, +1 to a different skill, and then some special ability is humans. Humans just get +3 to any skill, then +2 to any skill that is different from their +3. That's how it works. If you're building your own race, just follow the simple pattern of +2 to one skill, +1 to a different skill, and then choose some special unique ability that is for that race. Next, you have your friend, foe, and fondness system. This is the way to show how much a character likes another character. This uses a heart system, kind of like old Harvest Moon games or other games along those type, where you know a character likes your character based on how many hearts that character has. So this uses the same rule, but it uses numbers from 0 to 10, where all characters start at 1, And the higher up from one you go is the more someone likes you, and 0 means that they have a disdain for you. They do not like you for some specific reason. So this could be like an enemy, or you can even just do it as like a joke character that just doesn't like the character for some specific reason. But 0 is the lowest, and that means like the person is hated. 0 is like they don't care about them, there's like no interest. As it gets higher, you can see that the stats increase, where to eventually, if you get all the way to 10, it's either like you are the best of best friends, or if the characters want, they can instead marry each other. So that way there is a goal that allows for this type of different connections and allows for the different romances that are wanted between characters. Lastly, you got your conflicts. These are different things you can put your players through just to cause some drama and just have a little bit of fun, and we just put some ideas. You have duels, murder mysteries, riddles, deciphering messages, puzzles, and even rivals. Feel free to use anything you want. These were just a few suggestions to make things a little easier. With duels, we put in a little bit of a way of how this could work. Usually you'll just have each character involved in a duel have 3 hearts, and then you lose them, usually by different rolls or things like that, but it's really up to your GM to decide how duels play out. We just put a little bit of suggestion. Feel free to do whatever you feel is most fit. And as you can see, there are a few things in here that are non-negotiables. Like for murder mysteries, players are required to dress fancy and must drink with their pinkies pointed out. And rivals are a great way to add a little bit of drama while also having a fun way that you can do the enemies to lover trope. And there we have it. Now you can finally play the game. But to play a game, you gotta build a character. So of course we also have character sheets. Very simple design because I don't know how to make anything fancy. So let's build that character. First, we're gonna need a name. So of course the name's gonna be Nikolai Perry Khan, also known as NPC. Very beautiful name. What race? Of course, Nikolai has to be human. What other race could there possibly choose? So with that race, I get +3 to one stat and +2 to another. So let's put +3 in Persuade and +2 in Mischievous. And then Magic, well, I gotta do Linguistic. I like a sharp tongue, what can I say? And then, with all that done, and there's no special race ability that I need to put in, and my stats are all complete, I have +3 in Persuade, +2 in Mischievous, and the rest are +0. I now can look at character of interest. These are just characters that I want to keep track of. This allows me to keep their name, put down any heart points that they might have, and then the little box underneath is just any descriptors that I can use for that person, so that way I can remember the characters, and that way it's not all put onto the GM. So there you go. I've built my character, and I'm ready to play, and I'm ready to go and have my own little rom-com. Thank you all for watching and listening to me nerd out about making a one-page TTRPG. I've had a lot of fun doing this, honestly. Like, I really want to make more. I want to do some fun things like this, and just simple is really nice, and I hope you also give it a chance. If I can get it, I'm gonna put it in the description where you can just have it. Try it out, play with friends, just try it out for one night, have a fun little romance night, a little rom-com date. And thank you so much. In fact, before I leave, let me get a testimonial from my sister about how much her players love this. Okay, the people here want to know, what is your opinion on this one-page TTRPG, and what are your players' opinion on it?
It sucks. No one should play this.
Oh, you all heard it here first. This game sucks, and no one should play it. Why do I even try anymore? What's the point? Maybe they were right. Maybe I should have quit. Maybe I should have instead planned for a better future. No, instead I built one-page TTRPGs that are garbage. How could this be? In reality, here's a real opinion. Okay, now with that out of the way, what are your players' real opinion, your real opinion on this game so far?
Right, so I ran this with 2 test groups, one of which was a very casual new players to any type of TTRPG, and then I ran it with a more advanced TTRPG player group, and both of them really liked it. The newbies in particular really enjoyed this. They said that it was much more manageable than some of the other options out there, and they liked that they only had to keep in track of 5 stats at a time, and it was really easy to make a character and get started. My more advanced players said that they liked the creativity that this allowed, since we're not following any set spells, and that they also found it very manageable to jump right in and get going without basically any prep time. They actually all made their characters on the spot.
And there we have it. That is my sister's real opinion. And again, this was made to be very simple, so I'm glad that her playgroups also found it to be that way. If you are interested in trying out this game, please feel free, play it. It's really fun, even for just like a one-shot, for like a casual night with friends, if things are really busy, if you don't have your entire Dungeons and Dragons group or your normal TTRPG group. Have fun. It's really easy. You can build a character as quickly as like 5 minutes. You don't need any prep time. You just hop in and then go find that shoddy of yours. Go find that himbo of yours. Go find that hunk of yours. I believe in you. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoy the new year. This is uploaded on January 1st, 2025, and with that, I'm hoping that I'm gonna try to make more videos. I'm really bad at this, okay? As you can see, there's already long gaps. That is not uncommon, but I really had a drive to start making videos again, so I'm hoping that I'll try to be a little more consistent on it with my fan base of 10 subscribers. Yeah, I love all of you 10 subscribers. You're all beautiful, and might I add, very handsome and attractive and adorable. You can be any of those are all yours. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a great New Year's. Also, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Did I mention you're beautiful?